Om Shanti, everyone. Especially Om Shanti from Jagannath. Thank you, Yuri, for giving introduction. I think that everyone is very enthusiastic. As soon as there was invitation to learn, there was very, very good response. So each one of you want to be an instrument to reveal Baba and also to create appropriate, accurate image of Brahma Kumaris because whatever we produce, whatever we write, that's how it creates the right image for the organization. And of course, that's from where, as Baba said, that we have to reveal Baba so that everyone says, my Baba. But I think what is most important for whatever skill or talent you want to use is really based on my understanding of knowledge. So I would say at this time that whatever listening and then you're thinking of doing or producing, everything has to be knowledge based. And that knowledge also, not only knowledge, but knowledge and dharana combined. What I understand and what I am the image also of the same knowledge. And then is yoga and service. I am combining this way because a lot of knowledge goes with dharana, not only information, but what I understand and inculcate, and I am embodiment of. And then is yoga, remembrance, and also then love for service. So these are like to create that right foundation. Whatever feelings I have, love for Baba, whatever feelings one has, these feelings really come across very, very clearly. You will be surprised that when we answer a phone call, when the caller comes to know what my mind is and the words which I speak definitely touch that soul. So we have training for receptionists, right? Not only from cultural point of view and the right words to choose, but also your feelings at that time are very important. So what my suggestion or request is that every one of you, not from the point of view of creating something, but in your heart there should be just pure feelings to serve. When we came to London, it was 1974, I was there, and Dadi Janki came. So all the invitation used to go with the signature of Dadi Janki. So we will every day bring pile of 1,600 letters for her to sign. And she will sit there and with lot of love and patience, she will sign every letter. 1,000 letters she will sign. And she will say, it's not I am just signing, I am invoking, I am inviting, because this soul has to claim Baba's inheritance. That means even she said it's something simple, but to get the result in a right way, so that the souls are touched by whatever. It's not, of course, what you will get is a lot of expertise on everything, and definitely it's intellect based. technique based. But in that, we also add is mm, our feelings and loveful feelings based. That is something very, very important. So when you will do that, then you will see that how whatever you are doing is being accomplished in a proper way. I think that Brother Nanda had been doing this training and had been Baba's very, very lovely child for a long time. And actually, I want to give lots of love from Baba to Brother Nanda because it's quite a venture, right? For 10 weekends and with so much details. And I was reading curriculum. I said, wow, that's quite a lot. So, Brother Nanda, Baba's love and my greetings and good wishes for you for helping with this initiative or even taking this initiative. So everything we do, whenever we start doing it, hmm, for 1 minute, invoke Baba, and then do it, and also send lots of your feelings to everyone, so that they can be touched, their intellect, their heart, and then they are able to connect with Baba. That's something very, very important. So, as you heard, that we have this gym, and had been part of that for many years. But since 2 years, I told them that I withdraw from many from IT. Many, I said, whenever necessary, I will be, but I am not kind of going into every meeting of, whether it was films or any productions, which I used to before. But I still love because when I came in Gyan, one thing Baba told me, I want journalists, I want someone to write, I want someone to go and talk to editors, I want someone. And I think I was the one, and so I used to go to newspaper offices, television, radio, to do whatever I could do for Yagya, and had a lot of learning from there. So I'm sure that each one of you, I think you will need full concentration, and I'm sure you will come every weekend and use this skill for Baba's service. Because it's lot, if you have to go somewhere and take 10 weekends training, how much you will pay and how much you have to go out for. And here you're getting so much stuff, so much learning. It's only because you know that each one of you will be helping center to produce, to create, to help the sisters. I don't know anything like this, but I have a lot of souls who know it and they help me a lot. For a Vyakti Parivar, we are training. We had training for 2 weeks for a new group to create short videos because one or two, three were doing it and they are students, they have jobs. So it's quite a lot. So I said, okay, let's see who has interest. Just finished last night and they will be producing short clips. Let me stay to have a service. That's what my request is. And a lot of people will call for help, or you might have opportunity in a career, but whatever you are learning is gift from Baba, and use it and give this gift back to Baba and the world service. So I want to say thank you, and yeah, all good wishes for each one of you. Oh, thank you very much. Lots of love from Baba again to everyone. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you so much, Didi, for reminding us of the spiritual foundation of whatever we do, and especially in this field, and for making it the foundation for whatever service we do from here. I'd like to introduce Brother Nanda. My name is Kiran, and you've been hearing from me. And thank you, Judy, also for telling us, setting the context of Jim for this training. Just a couple of things before I introduce Brother Nanda. I also, if Leela Ben is on, I would just like if people could get a glimpse of her, because she's dealing with all of your registrations and WhatsApp numbers, and it's a lot. There are over 350 people who've registered for this training. We have over 40 from the Caribbean alone, Mohini Didi. So that's quite a big turnout from there, but from other countries too. A few from Australia, almost 40 from Canada, and a few from South America, a few from the Middle East, including Dubai and Turkey. From Vietnam, we have 5, Singapore and Malaysia, a couple. And India, we have 32. I don't know how they're going to manage with the time, but they can watch the videos after the fact, but they've registered. And there's 206 just from the United States alone. I'm going to send you all these statistics, Didi, but from New York State, we have nearly 50. From Washington, about 30, and California, over 30. So there's just been a fabulous enthusiasm for this training, not only in this region, but also around the world. And is Leela there? I would just like everyone to see who's responsible. I don't know if you can raise your hand, Leela Ben. Anyway, just to let you know that there were 2 documents that you should have received by email, the course announcement and one that starts with the heading Important Information, which tells you all the software that you need to have installed. And in addition to that, you might want to have WhatsApp web on your computer so that you can easily go from links there right to your computer programs. And you may want to actually watch the training on your computer instead of your phone, because it's kind of hands-on. Brother Nanda's going to show you, and you can have the program up in front of you and learn how to move around in it. And he'll be demonstrating that, and you can follow along. So you may want to have your computer on. Our trainer, Brother Nanda, just completed this training back in May, June, and I happened to catch a whiff of it. And I thought, oh, we've got to have this in our region. So he's luckily been able to spare all this time for us. He's been Baba's child for the last over 30 years, 31 years. And his educational background is, oddly enough, in biochemistry, alternative medicine, psychology, and automotive engineering. But he works as a corporate trainer, corporate strategies, web development, strategic thinking, especially the Edward de Bono method. He's a certified trainer in that. And he is also, of course, training in social media marketing. So he's going to guide you through this training in a very simple but very professional way. And he will always keep reminding us, as Sister Mohini was saying, of what the real purpose of it is for Baba's Seva. And for that, we also have to match with our dharna and our knowledge base. So I think, is Leela Ben there yet? Leila, you put your hand up. I don't know if you're there, but we would like to just show everyone your face briefly. Not there?
Yeah, I'm here, Ben. Can you hear me?
Okay, there she is. Yeah, just yeah, I just would really like to appreciate her because she's been really on this case for a long time now. So how long has it been? A couple of weeks, really dedicated to it. So that's who's the face behind all the communication you've been getting on the WhatsApp. Om Shanti. And now, Brother Nanda, please take it away.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti Bhai.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Shanti.
Om
Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Okay.
Shanti,
All
brother.
right. Okay. Om Shanti to everyone. Okay. Good to see you. I'm actually with Baba here having Amrit Vela and also having this training with you. So let's get started. But before that, let's have 1 minute silence. Just like Moini Didi said. Can we have just 1 minute of silence to invoke Baba? Om Shanti. Okay. So let's get started. Right. So what we are going to do here is it's a crash course actually. We're going to put in lots of information into this course, and the main aim of this course would be to empower Baba's children in terms of understanding about the social media and also create more hands for Baba's service. So that is the aim. And I've been going through the list that Kiran Ben has given me. There are quite a number of us who are above the age of 60, all right? Quite a number actually, all right? And many of them have almost zero knowledge about these things. So I have to be quite slow because the main aim is to enable, or main aim is to be able to create more hands for Baba's service. Now, also, some of you are already experts, and I could see in the survey we did, the registration we did, some of you are at level 5, almost all level 5s and level 4, which is quite an expert. So you might find it a little slow or boring, but as we probably pick up, you might find some interesting points. So hopefully you can be patient. Okay, so let's move on with that. Okay. So our objectives is, there are quite a number of stuff we want to do, but I'm just going to highlight it. You're going to design flyers. Many of you probably already know, but as Didi just said, it's not about designing the flyers. It is as we are designing the flyers, are we pouring in some bhavna into it? Are we able to invoke souls when they read that? It's as if like Baba touching them. So that kind of stuffs we need to put into those flyers. And the only way we can actually do it is to have Baba as our companion and having this conversation with Baba and having this relationship with Baba when you're designing all this stuff. At the same time, I'm also going to show you probably how we can create videos, all right? probably how we can create videos in a simple way. We are probably we will use Canva for mainly designing flyers, all right? And we will use Filmora for creating videos. Now, Filmora, I've already given you the link which you can download from the Google Drive. There's no virus there, all right? You can download for both Mac users and Windows users. So you should do that and probably get it installed into your PC probably by next week. So please do that, okay? The instructions are all there. And the Canva, we will use it for making flyers, all right? Because Canva is really easy. It's got lots of templates. But today we are going to use a PowerPoint. Now, PowerPoint, I'm going to use PowerPoint, not that you don't know PowerPoint, you probably are very good at it, but PowerPoint will be used to show you a few stuffs on how you can present better and also to manipulate images, because I probably can't teach you Photoshop and other softwares like Adobe Illustrator, which manipulates images. So therefore, I'm going to show you how we can do lots of stuffs using PowerPoint and manipulate images, photos, and create similar Photoshop effects. And those images, we will then use it on flyers together with Canva. So I hope you understand today's lesson. That will be PowerPoint. Now, the third thing is, I'm going to also show you how marketing, social media marketing actually works, how they think from their point of view, because this social media platform is actually, I mean, it's free to use, but they're making money out of it. There's lots of information that they're collecting. You see, so it's a very profitable business for these huge corporations, right? But how do they work and how do we maximize those to actually do Baba's service in a better way? So that's what that's what I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how they work, or how they actually calculate things, or how do we actually get into it and publicize ourselves in the best possible way. All right. So that has to be understood. Now, the next thing is, last one is, we're going to spread Baba's message in a very responsible way, because social media platform, you see, you can put your message there and you can be very excited. Now, once you learn to make flyers and videos, you'll be extremely excited to post them. You see, and so you'll just post because you're just excited about it. But then your messages or your content may be doing some damage out there. So you need to be quite responsible when you're doing this. You can't simply do anything, because somehow some people are going to perceive those information in a different way. So we need to understand this in a proper way. So that's what I meant by in a responsible way. So let's also understand this properly, okay? All right, let's proceed. Now, good. So I'm going to also show you the levels of people today, all Baba's children who have registered here. And level 0 is this color, and up to 5. Level 5 are experts. And this is like, really, I don't know anything, 0. All right. So when you're coming to 0, sorry, again, give me a moment. Right. So if it's 0, then it's probably, I don't know anything. Okay. So there are 92 people who have no idea or extremely 0 about making flyers. Can you see that? And there are about, okay, a few people here. So total, I'm probably going to be slow paced, because I'm probably going to focus on this 0, 1, 2 level. All right. And probably let's make that more, those people, those BKs, Baba's children more empowered and transfer them into this category so that they are actually able to help center service and center instruments. Okay, all right. So that's under flyers. What about videos? There are more people who actually don't know how to do videos. And to tell you the truth, in social media, what attracts attention is not flyers. It is more on videos. So when you're posting a flyer, it may not capture people's attention. People may just look at it for 5 seconds and it's over. But a video can actually get the message across better, hold people's attention longer. And that is why it is probably a very good skill for us to actually master this stuff. Right? So those, you may know how to do some flyers, but let's get this thing properly understood and mastered. All right? So that's what we're going to do under video, and there are about 221 people who needs probably some help or some coaching to become experts. Right. Then we have Instagram, which is a lot of us have no idea how to use Instagram, but that's okay. That's okay, because it's a Maya world out there, really, Instagram. There are lots of stuffs out there. So what we're going to do is, all right, what we're going to do is, I am actually going to help you out on how to use Instagram and probably also create some strategies for centers on how to use Instagram. Now, on Instagram, we can actually make very personal contacts with people and get them to come and see. It's like a museum. Instagram is like a personal museum. Okay, so we're probably going to do that a bit more detail. And I'm also going to show you how we can actually attract people to your own Instagram and also to Baba's Instagram. I'm absolutely sure that many of you already have some Instagram accounts. But remember, we are not going to post your own stories. It's not about posting your pictures and photos. No, it's not that. We are going to create a museum like Baba's Museum, but it could be your own Instagram from your point of view, what meditation is, what Brahma Kumaris is, and so on. So we're going to do those stuffs. And also YouTube, all right, a little bit on YouTube. There are many of us already posting lots of stuff on YouTube, but let's also understand how YouTube works and how we can actually attract more people into YouTube. I've missed out FB, all right, but FB will also, Facebook will also come in here. So probably we will also see how we can use the FB advertisements in a different way. All right, we will probably look at that. And of course, lastly, the website. But unfortunately, I will not be doing any of this website because this is website coding. It's like programming stuff. But there will be a course in October somewhere in Malaysia. All right, okay. So all right, so that's about this. So this is Baba's children and their skill level. Let's proceed a little bit more. Now, let me just very quickly, before I get into the training, explain to you what is marketing and what is selling. So this has to be understood. Now, what is selling? Now, when we sell, we're actually trying to tell people, please come for our program. That is called selling. And in the name of being excited and doing all this, we might also start spamming because we're going to send to people, or we're going to just post it and say, please come, this is it, or some content there, and please register. That's called selling. That's fine. If you're having a program, you can do some selling. But nowadays, people don't easily trust you. So most of the time, it's going to be very difficult, right? It's going to be very difficult because people don't actually trust you because there are a lot of fake and con people out there cheating everyone, right? So sometimes selling could also mean they're being forced. And nowadays people don't push things to me. It's like, Don't push things to me. Don't force me into it. Don't tell me what to do. Don't advise me what to do. Those kind of lots of people out there. So if you're doing all this at the wrong time, it could be damaging us. All right? Okay, now let's take a look at what marketing is all about. Now, in marketing, what we're doing in marketing is about not selling. We want to put in some very good content, relevant content to different groups of people. And we are trying to tell those people, look, we have a lot of good stuffs. That's it. And ultimately, or as when people look at those things, Baba's Gyan, Baba's knowledge, and they start to understand, hey, this is good stuff. And so they would probably like to trust us. Right? So that's what we're trying to do. And from there, they start having good feelings for us. And that's called a relationship. And now they are willing to actually receive some information from us. They're willing. Right? They're willing. Now, this happens to me all the time. See, when I open my WhatsApp in the morning, there are lots of people sending me all kinds of WhatsApps. It's probably happening to you. And I don't even bother to look at them. I just delete them. But when somebody whom I trust and I believe they have some good stuff, I will probably look at it. And if the content is good, I will read it. So that's called a relationship of trust. So that is what social media platform is going to be used for. We're going to do marketing. And then the selling will happen automatically when the time comes, when you're publishing or when you're having a program. So what I'm asking you to do in your own small way, each of us, let's say each of us are like BKs here. Let's say these circles are all BKs. Each of us now have to have, let's say, about 50 people who actually trust you. We want to create that kind of relationship on the social media platform. That's it. That's it. We don't want thousands of people. We can just have 50 people, not BKs, 50 non-BKs who actually trust what you say or believe in the information you put. Now just imagine how many BKs are there. So if there are 1,000 BKs and if there are 50 people who are willing to follow you, you probably have a pool of 50,000 people willing to listen to you. And those people with just a little bit of persuasion or little bit of selling, very little bit of information, may want to join you or listen to you. That's the whole plan. So in a way, you are going to become influencers. You see that? You're going to become influencers where you might just influence 50 people, 100 people. That's good enough. We're not talking about YouTube influencers like Shivani Ben, who's got millions of followers. We're not talking about those kind of stuff. That is probably later. But if you can just influence 50 people and they're very happy to receive your content, that's great. So that's the kind of marketing we want to do. Right? Okay, good. Now, if you have any questions, you can actually put it in the chat. All right. So let me just read the chat. Okay. All right, good. Okay, so let's proceed. There are a few chats up there. Probably I'll answer them later. Okay. Now, good. Let's take a look. Now, once we create trust, then they're going to follow us and they're going to believe what we say. That's the whole idea of social media platform. All right. And like what Didi mentioned, in order to do this, you truly need to invoke because we are doing the material and the material goes to that person and the person sees, but the one who actually touches those souls is probably not our material at all. It is probably Baba who's going to touch. But provided we have put in a lot of invoking and blessings into it. Okay, so those two has to combine. So if you're going to do something on a logic level where you're just going to create and just put it up, I feel it's just 50% of the work. And because that personal feeling of that pure feeling has not been put inside, maybe Baba's work cannot be done properly. Right? Okay, so let's also keep that in mind. Good. All right, good. Now let's move on into our training today. All right. So I'm just going to show you some things. Now in PowerPoint, now let's take a look. So you probably, I'm going to have a lot of hands-on. All right. So you probably need to, let's get your PC on, especially for those who are like almost zero, okay, or 1, 2. You probably want to try this out, a few stuffs. Okay. So let's move on. Now, number one, we want to learn how to create good slides, because these slides will be converted into an image, and those images can be used in our video. Can you see what I'm saying? All right. I'm going to use PowerPoint slides with some manipulated images and some wordings, text, and those slides will be converted into images. I'm going to show you all those. And those images, we're going to save it somewhere and use it in our videos. Can you see that? That's the aim of this PowerPoint, because learning other softwares or other tools is probably going to take lots of time. So that is why I'm not doing any Photoshop or some very fancy advanced stuffs. All right, let's keep it simple. Now, in order to do this, in order to have a slide, the first thing you probably need is a very powerful header which tells the story of this whole content. That means when somebody is watching a video, this slide is probably going to flash for only about 5 to 8 seconds. Can you see that? Because we are going to convert this into a video. Or maybe you're doing a presentation. Fine. You're teaching online foundation courses. That's fine. So there's only 3 main stuffs on a slide, and that is a header. And the header, without people reading this content, should be able to tell a great deal about the whole slide. That's how we need to create the header. So this header, when you're doing it, you need to think, talk to Baba, ask Baba's feelings, opinions. Seriously, this is how I do it. And there's a lot of great feeling when you're doing it, because it's no more work. It's like a relationship with Baba. And that is what sometimes I really love doing this, although sometimes it's a total waste of time sitting hours in front doing these slides and video. But it becomes no more work because it's a relationship with me and Baba. And I asked Baba, Baba, what do I do? Baba, when people read this, what kind of feelings you're going to put into them? What kind of feelings are you going to inject into them? Baba, that is your work. And I actually speak like this. And then I wait for some answers. And then I become bodiless. I become silent. I wait for some answers. And somehow something good comes in. I want you to try this out, okay? You need to try this out, because then this thing becomes so good, because the moment they see this, it's like Baba does his magic. All right? So that's very important. I'll probably also tell you how we can create this stuff, okay? Then you probably want to have some contents. If you are doing an online teaching, you probably want to animate this. I will also show animation, because some of you may not even know that. That's okay. Now then, you don't want to put an image which is square. That's what we normally do, because it doesn't look good. You can't just take an image of some image or some person and put in a square. You probably want to touch up a bit to give some effect, but the image must also tell the part of the story. So there are 3 key components. Now, your content must not be too much, because You must give time for people to read and then understand it. So it cannot be more than 3 stuffs, and it has to be keywords, even if you're doing a presentation. All right. So these are the basic rules of how we are going to create a slide. Are you okay? All right. Okay, good. Good. So, right. So let me just go through. Right. So we have number 1 here. And then we have some simple content. But most of the time, they may not even read it because this is telling the story. And then we have some images. That's it. Okay, so let me take you first, go through. Now, let me get into some basic rules. Okay, some very basic rules. Now, there are 3 basic design rules, although these rules can be broken at any time. Once you're expert, you know how to play around with it, you can actually break it up. You can break them. Number 1, when you are doing a flyer, a video, there has to be this contrast. And what I mean by contrast? Now, the contrast is in terms of color. So if you're looking at this slide, there's a very clear contrast, white, black, black and green. It's very clear. People can see it very clear. Secondly, big size font, smaller size font, there's a contrast. Another size font. Then there's a contrast. I've got a number, I've got a word, a contrast. I've got a box and there's no box. There's a contrast. So a contrast helps people to pay more attention. It holds people's attention longer. See, the whole idea of putting a video or a flyer is because we want people to look at it. We don't want people to skip those things. So if you don't want people to skip those things, then you need to try to hold their attention. So one of the basic rule is to have a contrast, color contrast, size contrast. Something is here, something is not there. That kind of contrast, and probably there's lots more, okay? So understand that rule. The second rule is what we call as the third rule. Now let's take a look. What's the third rule? The third rule is normally taught to basic designers. It's the most basic rule. Now let me show you that. What is that? Can you see this? I've got a grid here, a 9-box grid. Can you see this photograph? It is understood that when people look at a slide or a video or some image, their eyes' attention always moves to one corner. I'm not sure why, but that's how they've researched it. Can you see that? Now it moves towards one corner. Now this point, let me get something here. Okay, all right, here. Now this point here, this point, and this 4 points is generally where the eye, the attention is going to fall when they look at it. So what we're going to do is, you see, this person is nicely tucked in this corner. So the first thing people are going to look is probably in this corner. Now, these 4 corners are considered key corners. Why do I say that? Because this is where you're going to put or place, this is where you're going to place your information. Now, that means in a slide, there are some information which is direct, outstanding, or stands out. But there are some information which will be indirectly hidden.
His audio.
It's not his audio, it's our thing.
And those information will be put or placed at this point. You see that? And those information will be placed at this point. So if you look at this, what do you see is, you see this person, a rock climber at this point. The second information, can you see this whole spot? This is one information of a valley. and it's nicely placed in the center. Can you see that? Like it or not, unconsciously, the human intellect, for some reason, at this point of time, seems to go to this point and then comes back here. And then it probably wants to venture here. Now, why am I asking you to put or place informations at this point? Because as somebody looks at it, they're going to look at this point, and then their eyes is going to venture into this point, and then probably it might venture to this point. Now, what are we gaining from this? What we are gaining from this is time. They're going to spend more time looking at your material, and that's exactly what we want. Can you see that? So that's exactly what we want, because the more time they spend looking at Baba's product, or Baba's promo, or whatever you have done, the better it is. You're giving more time for Baba to touch their intellects. So as a designer, you need to carefully plan where you put, because the idea is what? There are two things here. Number one, we want to capture their attention. We want them to spend more time in it. You see, we want them to spend more time in it. And number two is we want to put in some hidden messages. This is the main message, but there are some other message which they will be absorbed automatically, and they will probably think about it in their dream or in after
I'm
their
missing all this now.
right. Okay, I think. Sorry, you need to mute, please. Somebody's mic is on. All right. Okay. You get it? All right. So there are two stuffs here. Number one, we want to capture, that's the main information. And then there are also some other information. So whoever's designing the flyers from now, right? I'm talking about those levels 0, 1, 2, 3, okay? The rest probably you already know it, so that's fine, okay? So you need to think from this point of view. Are you okay? All right, good. Now let's take a look at another one. Can you see that? Now, how many information is here? Sorry, I just got this rock climbing photo on the last minute, okay? Forget about this emotional immunity, okay? Now, look at this person. It's tucked nicely in the corner. Now, where else your attention will go, automatically it goes to the another 1/3. Can you see? It's called a third rule, because everything is nicely tucked inside that 1/3 of the slide. So here, there's probably one information here, and then there's something interesting, bright, which the eye probably want to venture, and probably something here. There's also a vast horizon out there, all right, somewhere here. Probably there's some hidden messages here, and one direct message. You okay? All right, good. So this is how photography design slides work. Look at this. What do you think of this? Just tell me. Somebody type. All right, just type it out. I mean, tell me, what do you think of this slide? Anyone wants to say? Just put your chat. There's no wrong or right. Is this good? Is this nice? What if you? Yeah, good. Somebody has typed. It's a bag promotion. Awesome. Looks empty to me. Okay. Blocks the view. Yeah, thank you. Does not allow me to see through. Thank you. You got the point. That's what I'm trying to say. Look, this person is an obstruction, is a distraction. I mean, look, what's the message here? Take this person and tuck this person nicely at this place. Why? Because this place is boring, so to say. I don't want to block this because there's some interesting rocks here. So when I put this person here, the eye will go into this valley at the bottom. But right now, the beauty of the valley is gone. You see that? And I'm not sure what they're promoting. Probably it's a bag promotion, but even if it's a bag promotion, you still must put it here. And some other information about the bag comes here. Can you see that? So you need to get this person out, put that person here. And then probably your text might come here. Again, I don't want to block the mountain. All right? I can block part of the sky because there are other parts of the sky visible. Okay, so this is how we place things around. Okay, so this is basic rules for designers. So take note of it. All right, so don't make photos or slides like this. Now, next part. This is another awful thing. Can you see? Why? It's totally blocking the design. We should put this person not here because it's going to block that ship or boat. We should put this person here. Can you see? Do you know why I'm not going to put that person here? Why? Because then that boat is gone, isn't it? But that's not the point. I'm not interested to show the boat. My aim as a designer is only one. This. I want their time to look at the message. So that's the whole idea of designing any video or flyer. We don't want people to skip it. So if you're blocking information and if their intellect doesn't go here and there in that whatever promotional material, you are not getting their time. And so it is quite wasted. Your efforts are wasted. You're getting that basic idea of what I'm trying to say? All right. Sorry, I'm not directly going into the training. I'm just giving you the basic ideas of designing. All right. So this is what we call as quality content in terms of time, getting people's attention. And remember, you're going to hide those information at this corner and probably at this corner and probably somewhere at this corner and this corner. One main information which strikes out and the other information are subtle information. Okay, so we're probably going to focus more on doing flyers tomorrow, but right now let's move on a little bit more. Good. Look, what happens if I take this person and put it right in front here? That's going to be bad. Can you see? So this looks nice. Okay, I think you're getting the idea. Okay, fine. I'm going to skip all this stuff. Okay, so anytime you're from now onwards, when you're designing or when you're looking at a particular Baba's brochure or video, bear in mind these are the rules that you're going to use. Okay, so I think I've gone through the 3 rules. What are the 3 rules? Okay. So number 1, first rule. Second rule, the third rule, okay, which tells you that tuck your information in 1/3 of the place and not the whole slide. The third
audios are coming through.
the perception rule. Now, very quickly, I'm just going to take a few more minutes and then we'll have a short silence for a while.
Oh, yeah, that's not anything, that's your problem.
But it was working before I reset it.
Okay. Good.
She's just testing shit.
You want to try?
There.
Good. Okay, now let's take a look. Now, what do you see here? Sorry, I'm going to use this analogy here. This is a tree, and it's got 5 animals. Now, why do I have 5 animals here? These are not animals, but these are visions of people. The snail has got a very narrow vision. Now, when you become a designer of flyers, for some reason, you might become a snail. Now, what I mean by that? A snail, assuming you're a designer now, you're quite skilled and you're very specific in your work. But then you might be trapped in thinking because you now might be thinking from your point of view of trying to promote Baba's message, and you're so excited about it that you'll forget about every other people who are going to look at it. Now, the third rule of the designer is you don't design from your point of view. When you design something, you need to put yourself in the shoes of the person who is going to view that stuff. You getting me? You're going to put yourself, the person. That means I'm going to say, you see, we are now designing from a very small angle, and that is Baba's vision, Baba's my world, and whatsoever, you're going to put it there. So your entire sanskar is so focused, you will forget to do something. You will put extra information because of you're so much happy about this, okay, doing this stuff. However, the person out there is not only looking at your information, they are looking and going through tons of information. So their view, I'm going to call them as eagles, all right? Forget them. It's not eagle, it's just their vision. And they're looking at many things at the same time. So what you put in here is probably not even attractive to them. But for you, you are so excited. Wow, these are great gyan points. These are great knowledge points. And so you will put this up. But unknown to you, it has got almost zero impact on the viewer. That is a total waste of time. Can you see what I'm saying? You're wasting your time. Because it's going to be a junk in the social media platform. It's going to be forgotten and nobody cares about it. It happens in the YouTube. Can you see? You do something and it's a great work, you feel, but there are less viewers. People are not being attracted to it for some reason. Probably are not doing it right. So what is the purpose of putting up something? I mean, is that your storeroom where you're just going to store some things? No, the purpose of putting up something is to make sure that people see and get Baba's message. So when you are designing, you seriously need to think. This is where you need Baba's help. You need to sit in silence and call Baba and Baba, what are they looking at? How will this message work in their head or in their intellect? How will this touch them? Are these the right words? Should I have more words, less words? You need to talk to Baba. Hopefully, you get some good ideas. And if you're not sure, you probably need to ask another person's view to enhance your content until you are quite expert. Then it's fine. Okay, so this is the third rule, which we call as the perception rule, or how people see things. Okay, now look at my header again. I've changed my header. I could have just called this as perception rule. And it will not make much sense to you, correct? I could have just called this as a perception rule. But I've changed this header, can you see? Now look, there are two different headers here. Build relationships of trust through aligned perception. It's telling you some story. Can you see that? This doesn't tell you anything. It's just saying it's a rule. But what is it about? No idea. So that is the difference between a header. I'm not saying this header is really good. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, look, there is a difference between these two headers. So when you are putting up something on the slide to be made into a video, it should not be an information, but it should be the interpretation of the information. You know what I'm talking about? Look, what is this picture telling you? What is this whole thing telling you? What is the message I'm trying to bring you here? The answer to that becomes your header. That's how we create good headers. But each one of you may be more skilled. Can you see? Again, I'm going to repeat that stuff because that's the wording you put on videos. We don't put information on videos because information takes time for them to absorb, to be understood, to be interpreted. What we need to put, the information is here. But the information, you need to ask, what is this telling me? What is this message about now? What are people going to understand? Baba, what are people going to look at? The answer to that becomes your header. It's always like that. So when people read that, it's like 50% of the message goes through and then they are keen. This either gets them to look at your picture more or image more, or they're going to skip. So this is where you invoke people. They're not going to look at your content. This is where your invocation comes together with Baba's help. Are you okay? All right. So these are the 3 rules. Okay. So now let's have some Baba's meditation for a few minutes. All right. And just let's remember this stuff. Let's remember Baba.
शिव बाबा को याद कर, जी भर उसको प्यार कर, सांसों को आबाद कर ले मेरे मना। शिव बाबा को याद कर, जी भर उसको प्यार कर, सांसों को आबाद कर ले मेरे मना। सांसों को आबाद कर ले मेरे मना। सांसों को आबाद कर ले
Okay. Good. Moment. Okay. All right. Okay, now I'm going to show you a few stuffs here. Good. Now let's learn the first few things here. Now, before that, if you can take a few minutes, okay, I just want to show some of you, in case you're not so sure about this stuff, okay? Now I want to recreate this thing. I'm going to remove this stuff because I think many of us may not be so used to some designs. So I'm going to recreate this thing here. And I'm going to show you a few stuffs, but some of you might be bored by it, but it's okay. All right, just have some good wishes because it's probably too basic. So what I'm going to do is, now in case you don't know, to type, you just need to put insert and then you have a text box. All right, so you can create a text box. Okay. So I'm going to type 3 basic design rules. Okay, I'm sure you know these stuffs, but that's not the point here. Okay, good. So I'm going to highlight that, and then I'm going to make the size big. Okay, and then I'm going to choose a simple font. There's some very beautiful fonts, and you can easily download them. Okay, now I'm going to change this to some color. Let's say green. You know that. Okay, you know that. That's very basic. Now, some of you may not know the next thing. You can go to actually shape format. Can you see? Then you'll see the letters. This is the outline. I can actually outline it so you get an outline. So it looks nicer. Then again, you can highlight those things. And home button. This S here, you can actually create a shadow. So there's a shadow. It becomes brighter or it's get lifted up. So that's very good, especially if you're doing a video. Can you see that? Okay, good. Then I've created this 3. Can you see this 3 here? All right, okay. So number 3. So I'm going to do, I've got my text box here, but you can get your text box from the insert. I'm going to put a 3 here. Okay, I'm going to put 3 here. And I'm going to make it big size. Okay, I'm going to make it bigger. Fine. All right, I'm going to create this thing for you, like a 3-dimensional stuff. It's quite easy. Looks, some of you might feel it's too complicated. No, it's not. And I'm going to choose a bigger font, a thicker font. Let's move this here. Okay. So I'm going to have this, another duplicate, right? I'm going to keep this here. Duplicate is control, copy is control C, and or you can click here if, in case you don't know. Can you see copy and paste is all here. Now I'm going to have this same thing. I'm going to choose a lighter color, maybe light color, very light color. You may not be able to see. And then I'm going to put an outline for this. How do I make an outline? Go to shape. Here, I've got an outline. You see that? Good. And then I'm going to make this into white. This, I'm going to put an outline and outline first. Let's outline first. All right. Or you can choose your color here itself. That's also possible. Or you can choose some other color, right? White, fine. Then all you have to do is just lift it here and place it up here and just move it a bit. You can get a three-dimensional effect. So if you're having Photoshop and Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator, they can actually create all this. But in PowerPoint, we can create something like this. So if you want to have a 3-layer stuff, yeah, you can have copy one more and just place it on top. And then you can change the color. Can you see you have created a 3-dimensional effect? You can even do for this. I hope you're okay. All right, good. Let's remove this box. Then for some of you who are absolutely new, the rest of you have to bear with me for a few minutes. Now, let's say I want to animate this thing, because sometimes, now the problem with presenting slides is, when you put all these things at together, it actually, what people do, see, once you put a slide with lots of words, people will not listen to you anymore. They're going to read what's on the slide. And that is bad. Can you see? Let's say you're giving a foundation course. I mean, it happens back here in Malaysia a lot. They will put up the entire soul picture and lots of things about I'm a soul, this, about 5 lines there or 6 lines. And then it's all up there and the viewers are looking at it. And then you are going one by one explaining it. And you're not explaining, you're reading through it and then explaining it. That is a total boring stuff. You will lose their attention. So you see, when I mean, they will think, I've already read it. Why must you read through and explain it again? So therefore, you have to put the keywords only. See, like contrast rule, what is that? So I'm going to animate this thing. You can animate in 2 ways. Either you can highlight one by one, highlight one, and then click any one of this you like. Okay. Or you can highlight all 3. Choose one. Let's choose one. Let's choose wipe. Or animation is here. So all 3 comes together. Because maybe you might have 10 points, but actually one slide shouldn't have too many points, maybe 3 points. Now everything is going to come out at 1, 1, 1. Can you see that? I don't want that. So I highlight that again. There's another animation pane here. Can you see that? If you click that, it will show you. And all of them are going to come out at 1, which we don't want that to happen. So what you do is you click here. And then you say on click. On click means everything will come out when you click. So it becomes 1, 2, 3. So rather than just coming out all together, it will come out one by one. Okay, so if I put it on a projector mode, it comes out 1. You explain these things. And now people have to listen to you. Their attention is on you because they have read this thing, but they have no idea what is that. And then it goes on. Okay. So this is animation, basic animation, which if you're not doing this stuff, okay, especially in teaching foundation courses, Baba's courses, and you put all those information there, probably you might lose their attention because it's very boring to look at the screen and just listen. Okay, now remember also the attention span of anyone is only 8 to 12 seconds. So every 8 to 12 seconds, there has to be some information to be looked at. Now, what did I tell you just now? Take a look. Okay, let's go back to our rules. According to our rules, I gave you, all right? So I told you that there is a square, correct? There are 4 points. There are 4 points, this point here. Okay, correct? Just now I told you. There are 4 points here. What is that? This is the third rule. Remember the third rule? There are 4 informations you can actually put in. Okay, so that's information 1 can be here, 2 can be here, 3 can be here, 4 can be here. Right now, I've got only this information. So when the contrast rule comes out, that's it. Now, their attention now is going to be on me. But whatever you're going to explain can be hidden here in a very subtle way. In this way, instead of just having 8-second or 10-second attention on this, their attention will also go here and they are listening to you and relating what they see and what they hear. This is how we retain their attention. So the whole idea of advertisements or promotions is to hold people's attention. That's the basic rule. You hold that and then you have their attention, they're reading it. The message goes across. Okay? Okay, I hope you're fine with that. Good. So now you have understood some simple stuff. I think those who are not so good in PowerPoint. Now, then what do you do? Let's say, I want this to become a slide. I want to have this as a slide. Okay, just a simple slide like this, which I'm going to put into my video. There are 2 ways to do it. Either you go to your projector mode and then get all these things here. And then what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to print screen. I'm going to press print screen. That's on your button in your keyboard. Can you see print screen? That's the easiest way of doing things. So I'm going to press that now. I'm going to press that button. Okay, I've just pressed it. Good. I'm going to come out. All right. Okay. I'm going to come out. I'm going to create one more slide here, empty slide. And whatever I print screen just now is automatically copied. So I'm going to paste it here. I'm going to paste it here. Can you see it comes out now as an image? This is simple, basic way of creating an image, which means this is an image because you can't actually put, this is a PowerPoint. Can you see this is a PowerPoint? That means when I click, they come out one by one. All right. So that's a PowerPoint. But if it's an image, I can click, the whole thing comes out. Now, once you have done an image, now right click. Can you see that? Save as picture. Save as picture. Okay. And then it takes you somewhere, have a folder, a video folder, a flyer folder where you can save this. But when you save this, there's 2 ways to saving it. Now, all these are basic rules which you need to know. Can you see this? Yeah, I think you can, right? Okay. There's 2 ways to save it. Now, I'll show you what this is, but let's for now click on this, choose JPEG. JPEG means image. You get it? So you save them as JPEG. So I'm going to save it in this photo here. All right, I'm going to save it, saved pictures. Can you see? I've got lots of stuff here. So I'm going to save it as picture 1. That's it. No, I don't want to. Okay, fine. So this is how you save it. You get it? You right click, save, and change to JPEG, and then save it somewhere. Okay, you got it? So this is how you can make images. Now, this is very useful if you have done a flyer or anything and you want to create image. Now, why we want this? Because this image here is what I'm going to use in my Canva to put into my flyer. Are you okay? Good. Now, so that's one method. The second method of creating an image, I'm going to create another empty slide here. All right, so take a look at this, correct? You got that? Okay, good. All right, so let's say now here. So this is mine. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to press I'm going to press, let's say, let's type it up. Another fast way of doing things is, okay, you need to press Shift and press your Windows. There's a small Windows there, Windows logo icon. And then press S, snip. This is for Windows user. I think it is for Mac users should be Shift Command 4 plus 4. Now that's called a snipping button, all right? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to press that Shift. You can try it on your PC. Press Shift, press the Windows icon, and then press S. So if you notice, something will come up at the top of your screen if you're doing it, all right? Then you can actually have that click on the rectangular snip. Of course, you can't see it now. And you see, I'm going to snip it. Can you see that? What's happening? Probably you can't see it. I'm snipping it. You probably can't see it. Okay. All right, I'm going to snip this thing. And then I will actually paste it on somewhere else with Control V, but you can't see it. So I suggest you try it later. So this is what I've just snipped from somewhere else, okay? Okay. Sorry, you can't see it because it all looks white background here. Okay. All right, good. Okay, so hope you're okay. So you try it later. I want you to try this. This is a very useful stuff which you can use. Okay, so now let's move on a little bit. So what I've shown you here is animation, some simple 3D stuffs, the outline here, which could be useful. All right, good. Now let's move on. I've got Didi's picture here. This picture, you can actually get it from Google Image. Just go to Google Image and grab this picture. And I want to use Didi's picture here for making a flyer. Now, if I'm going to use this box here and then put in the flyer, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look blended into the flyer. So therefore, I'm going to click this. I want to remove this background. Can you see? This is very useful feature. In case you didn't know, you can use it. Click on the picture and then go to picture format. Can you see up here? Picture format. Click that. Are you okay? Any picture. You can have any picture. And then go to remove background. Can you see that? Remove background. And that's it. All this purple, is it purple or pink? Yeah, whatever, is going to be discarded. So, but I want that sari and the face. I don't want the background. So all you have to do is mark, go back here, go back to the left-hand corner, all right? And say mark areas to keep. And sorry, not this. Undo. Okay. So mark areas to keep. I'm going to mark the sari here. Okay, just out. I'm too fast. Let's undo. Okay. Again, I'm going to remove the background. Okay, mark areas to keep. That is here on the left-hand corner, left-hand top corner. I'm going to mark the sari here. Okay, all this. Can you see what I'm marking? Just mark anyhow. You don't have to follow any shape. You just mark like this. Okay, mark it here. Yeah. You've got your sari. Now this is useful because generally we do it in Photoshop. So, but we are not using Photoshop today. Okay, good, done. Can you see that? So the purple or that pink, whatever you see in your screen, is going to be removed. So then I will say, let's keep the changes. I'm going to press keep changes here. Done. So I've got Didi's photo here, and this is far better. Can you see that? Good. Now, however, now it doesn't look so balanced. I don't want this bottom part here. I don't want it. Okay. So what I can do is I probably want it in a more circular shape or a softened image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crop this part. All right. So I'm going to click on this photo. These are useful things because if you're going to be a designer, then you probably need to have good images because that's going to attract. All right. You can't have an image with a background which doesn't blend with your flyer. It doesn't look good. So let's learn this trick. It's totally useful because normally people will use Photoshop. Okay, now I'm going to crop it. Can you see crop here? On the right-hand top corner, crop. But I'm not going to crop it. I'm going to crop to shape. Can you see that? Can you see that word? Crop to shape. Click crop to shape. All right. And probably I'm going to use a circle. I'm going to click an oval shape here. Oval. Click oval. That's it. It's already been cropped. Are you okay? All right, good. So you can crop it into any shape. All right, let's try a triangular shape. Okay, I'm going to put a triangular shape. A triangular shape, any shape you like. Can you see that? Good. Let's go back to our circle or oval. Good. Done. Now, still it is too smooth. It doesn't look blended. Can you see what I'm saying? Okay. Now, all right. Good. So now I want to soften it. I want to soften it because then it looks nice. So therefore, click on the picture. Click on the picture. Go to picture effects. Picture effect under picture format. Can you see format here? Format, picture effect. All right. And then go for soft edges. Soft edges. That means the edges will become soft. Soften and it's not sharp. So I'm going to pick this. You can test it out. I can choose one of this. This is the worst. I mean, this is really softened up. So everything is missing here. But let's reduce that. Okay. If you want your own options, then you soft edges, then you can choose here, soft edges options. Can you see that? But if you don't mind choosing any one of this, all right, probably okay. Or you want to make it better. All right, good. So let's undo this stuff. I don't quite really like this shape. Okay, so let's go back. What else can you do? Good. Another way of doing stuff is, because this is manipulation, the whole idea of manipulation is to have good images. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to crop it until here. Let's crop it here. I'm going to use a normal cropping tool, normal stuff, crop it. Can you see that crop stuff came here? And then just pull it up a bit. Okay, all right. Probably you want the batch. Okay, fine. Good. All right, so I still have this square stuff. Can you see this square stuff, which I don't like? Another technique which you can use is, now, you okay so far? You all right? No. I'm going to go into the shapes. All right, it's somewhere in the home. It can also be in the format, or it can also be the insert thing. Insert, can you see the shapes are here? Or it can also be in the home. I'm going to take this thing, and I'm just going to take this. Can you see this? Can you find this somewhere? It should be somewhere here. It's a scribble tool. It's a scribble tool, free form scribble tool. All right, I'm going to click that. It's a pen. And I'm just going to draw a line here. Can you see? I'm drawing. Can you see something here? All right. I'm going to just draw it here. Okay. Yeah, just draw it here. Anyhow you like. Anyhow, you can just test it out. Can you see what I did? Okay. Okay, can you see? I'm going to put, let's show you first what I've drawn. I've just drawn like this. I just inserted a blue. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it white. Okay, I'm going to make it white. So now it's white. And then I'm going to go to the shape effect. Go to soft edges. Soften it. Soften it. Can you see what has happened? That square thing has been taken away or blocked by the soft edges. Can you see that? No. This method might look extremely childish for those who are experts in Photoshop. But as I said, what we want is something that works, that's good enough. Can you see that? Okay. So this is for people who like, make it simple, just go to the point. So let's do this, okay? Now I'm going to also close this up. So I'm going to take my scribble tool again. And then I'm going to block this part here. Let's make this part bigger, okay? In case you can't see it, I'm going to put black, but I don't want black. All right, I'm going to change it to white. And then I'm going to go into my shape effect in the same place, shape effect, soft edges, choose some soft edges. All right, soft edges, good. Let's block it, move it a bit. Good, you've got a softer edge. If you want to rotate that thing, yeah, it's possible to rotate, okay. So good, you've got Moini Didi in, all right, okay, so anyway, all right, if you think you want to block further, it's also up to you, but what you can do is just copy this thing, Control V, paste it back, Control C, just turn it over, can you see, I can manipulate, and I can block this part. So now it looks like more softened. Can you see, it looks very subtle. It looks like she's floating in the subtle regions. Can you see that? So that's what I've just done. I'm going to make this screen smaller. Okay. Can you see that? Let's see it in projector. Looks nice. Can you see that? It looks more real rather than that box. So in this way, you have actually manipulated this stuff. Are you okay about this? So this is the simplest way I can think if we don't want to use Photoshops and so on, all right? Okay. So I'm using again PowerPoint is because most of you are probably familiar with PowerPoint. Now let's do this stuff. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to now create, I'm going to highlight this whole thing. Can you see that? So there is Moini Didi, if you can see, the big box is Moini Didi's photo. Then there's 3 white soft effects which I've created. Can you see that? So you need to group all these things. Group it first, group it, all right? Group it because I need to save this picture because I want to use it in my Canva tomorrow. So this is your homework. I want you to create Didi's picture here, all right? Didi's picture here. I want you to create Didi's picture here. Okay, get Didi's picture, and I'm going to paste it in the. The link here where you can actually get Didi's picture, probably a similar picture. And your homework is to actually create this effect, get this photo ready for me. All right, so now let's go back here. So I'm going to now highlight this whole thing. And I want to make it as one piece because right now it's 4 different pieces. How to make it one piece? It's grouping. All right, a shortcut for grouping is Control G. G stands for group. So I'm going to press Control G, all right? Or you can go here, all right? Click here, all right? Look for, where is it? Group. Can you see shape format? Group it. Let's group it. You can also do that. A shortcut key will be Control G. So when you group it, it's one piece. Are you okay? All right. So this is what we do. Okay. All right, so hopefully you're okay. Now what we do is now click on it, right click. Let's right click on it. Right click, I just right clicked and save the picture in your folder. Let's call this folder as a training folder, all right? So inside the training folder, create 2 more folders, videos folder or image folder. So you can put everything there. Now let's save this as, okay, let's save this as JPEG. Are you okay? So JPEG means it's an image. So that's how you do it. Okay. Hopefully okay. All right. Good. Now okay, so that's how. Now let's take this photo. Let's take this photo. Can you see now I can move it? I can move this photo. Now once after you've done it, what can you do? Now, let's say, I'm going to show you a little bit more. There's a lot of white stuffs here, correct? There's a lot of white space here, which is, I mean, I don't need that stuff. I just need Moini Didi's photo here. I just need that. So what do I do is, again, I can control Windows logo, Windows icon, and S. Now, in case you cannot see, I'm going to show you what I'm seeing. Okay, again, let's check. See, when I press that control stuff, this is what I see. Can you see that? This is what should appear. What is on top here? This is what you should see right at the top. Can you see? So you can choose a rectangular or you can choose a free form. The free form is the second part. I hope you can see this, okay? Because when I press this button or the keys, it doesn't show in the Zoom. So I just took a snapshot, a screenshot. I'm showing it to you here. All right, so this is what you will see. And I'm going to choose this part. I'm going to choose this part here, number 2, which is free form. All right, free form. Mac doesn't have a free form. It's only got a square. All right, good. So now I'm going to go back to Moini Didi's photo here. I'm going to do my Shift Windows S. I'm going to choose that free form and I'm going to snip it. Okay, I'm going to snip it. Not sure whether you can see it. No, you can't see it. Okay. Okay, so you try it. So what you do is go around, take that scissors and go around Didi's photo, and then you'll get Didi's photo out. Just only a shape. Okay, you need to try that. Okay, good. So now let's move on a little bit more. Next part. Now what I'm going to do is this. You see, I've blocked this stuff. Let's remove this thing. Okay. So I've got my grid here, and I'm going to take Didi's photo here, and I'm going to put Didi here. Where do I put her? I'm going to place her nicely here. Can you see that? Somewhere here. Good. This is my position. Can you see what I'm saying? But if you're going to put it here, now that she becomes the center of attraction, attention, and so other hidden messages may be overlooked. So that's the whole idea of the third rule. So I'm going to place her here nicely, tuck this image nicely at this position. It looks a bit more balanced. Then you can go on to say, all right, Avyakti Parivar, pilgrimage of silence, nicely, and it's done. Can you see what I'm saying? Okay, so this is your homework for today, actually. All right, you need to get images like this. All right, just get Baba's image, maybe this image, and so on. Okay, I'm also going to try out with, let's take a look at one more image. Okay, I'm going to also do this. I'm also going to do, good. Peace Village. Let's take a look at Peace Village. Okay, I'm going to erase all this stuff. Okay. Now, so this, okay. Now this has been manipulated with Baba's photo behind. You see that? Okay. And I can actually make Baba grow through animations. Can you see? That's quite useful if you want to do some effects. Now, all right. So how did I get this image? So this image was actually a square. Let's put Baba here. This image was actually a square. Can you see that? So I'm going to reset this. Hopefully I can reset this. Let's take a look. Okay, I'm going to reset. Oh, I can't. Okay, doesn't matter. So this is a peace village. What did I do? The peace village was something like this. It was a photo. I did two things. I'm going to put a box here. It was like this, square. So what I did was I used my snipping tool, which is Shift, Windows, S. Can you see that? And I took that free form and I went around it. So I'm going to show you Tune Projector. Okay. So what I did was, now since the snipping tool can't be seen on the zoom, so what I did was, now imagine this square is the whole picture of Peace Village. So what I did was I put my snipping tool here. I just went around like this. Can you see my line? I just went around like this. Use the free form. I want you to try. This is your homework, okay? Just go around the trees. Just go around like that, okay? And just snip it like this, okay? You just don't worry about the color that appears when you snip. You just have to follow around, go around the picture, the area that you want. All right. You will get your snip. So once you have snipped it, then have a clean slide and just paste it on it. Control V. It's automatically there. It's Control V and it comes out there. Can you see? I've just manipulated that picture. Now let's give a softer background. All right. So what happens now? So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to undo my soft edges. Can you see? This is how it looked like. This was how I snipped it. Can you see that? So this is what, there was a blue sky here. I snipped it and I didn't want it to be square. I wanted to make it more subtle. Now, this is your homework. You need to try because we're going to do this tomorrow. You're going to create a flyer using Baba's logo, Peace Village, Moini Didi, and if you have time, do Dadi Janki or Gulzar Dadi or anyone. All right. Now, go back. Okay, good. So now what I did, let's take out this box. I clicked on the picture, went to shape effects. You got it? Are you following? Soft edges, and then choose soft edges. Choose what you want. If you feel it's too much and you can't control it, there's bottom here, there's a soft edge options. Click that. There, can you see? Now you can actually, there's a size here. Can you see that size? You can actually make it bigger. Can you see? Or you can make it, you can control it until, okay, which edge, which soft feeling you'd like. Okay, I think this is good enough. 21 pixels, points, fine. Good, I've done that. Can you see that? Good. So now let's reset Baba. Let's see, let's reset Baba, see what happens. Okay, you got it? Now Baba was like this. I actually cropped it. Can you see? I just cropped this. It was a huge picture and I just cropped it. I used the snipping tool, the square snipping tool. I just cropped it. And then what did I do? All right, what did I do? I just clicked on it. I just clicked on Baba. Let's push this aside first. Quite simple. Click on Baba. And okay, let's picture format that. Let's try shape effects. Let's go to soft edges. But it doesn't look nice. Why? Because it's a square. It doesn't look nice. So I'm going to undo this thing, undo it. Okay. So I'm going to crop this first. How? Picture format. Go to crop. No, you know what I'm doing? I want to crop it into a circular shape. So let's go to crop here, crop, but crop to shape. Crop to shape. And choose an oval or round. It's up to you. You can adjust it. Let's choose, okay, let's choose a oval shape. Can you see that? Okay. So if you click crop again, if you click crop again, you can actually adjust it, that oval shape. How much of an oval do you want it to be? Good. I'm quite happy with this. Good. I've got an oval Baba shape. Now what I can do is click on it because I don't like it round. I'm going to make it picture effect again. The soft edges. Try some soft. Are you happy with this? Okay, settle. For now, let's be happy with this for now. Okay. All right. So it's up to you. If you want more options, then go down. But I'm quite happy with this. Okay, good. So now I'm going to place this here. And then I'm going to put Baba here. You can bring Baba in front here. This is the bring forward. Can you see bring forward? If I click Baba, bring forward, Baba will be in front. If you say send backward or send back, Baba goes behind. Okay, so can you see that? So I'm going to place this. Now, once Baba goes behind, Baba's photo goes behind, then you can't click because this photo will block. So push it aside first. Okay, let's raise it. Push it aside first. Let's raise it up. Or you can bring, or you can send this Peace Village behind, send backward. And so Baba is now in front. Position Baba where you want. Okay, it's up to you. Follow the 9 grid rules. All right, so I'm happy with Baba being here. Fine, half of it. I'm going to send Baba behind again, backward, done. Okay, good. Now next, I want to show you one more animation. Okay, actually 2 more animations. Now, if I click, I can't click Baba now because Baba is behind, right? So I'm going to send Peace Village behind again. And Baba's now in front. Now I'm going to click this, okay? And I'm going to go to animations. And I want to make Baba grow big. Can you see? I'm going to make Baba grow big. Grows big. Now, all right, but how big do you want it to be and how fast do you want to be or how slow you want to be? All those can be adjusted. Now, if you want that grow, to be really big, fine, you can adjust it. So under animations, click animation pane. Animation pane is where you can see all those things. Are you okay? Am I too fast? Okay. Then under animation pane, click on this. Can you see? Picture. This is the picture. And you can adjust the effects. Click effects. The size is now 150. So I'm going to make it into 300. So I'm going to type 300, 300, and enter. That's it. You must press enter. Done. It grows big. If you want this big, if not, make it small. Okay. Now, however, it's growing too fast, and I don't want that. So what I can do is click on that Baba's photo. Now, if you go to the top right corner, can you see the duration? You see the duration? Now, this thing is going to grow big in 2 seconds. You can control. I'm going to make it 15 seconds. So let's try what happens. Okay, 15 seconds. So therefore, when you click Baba's photo, it says 15 seconds. Let's try on projector, but before that, let's send this behind. So I'm going to send this behind. Let's go back to home here. Okay, I'm going to click Baba's photo, arrange, send back. Okay, so Baba's behind. Okay, good. So let's see projector, what happens. I'm going to click animation. Can you see that? Ah, that is a nice effect if you're actually doing a foundation course. So people are like watching, hey, what is this? I mean, it's just a gimmick, but still the whole idea is to hold people's attention. You okay? These are nice stuffs because the whole idea of an online training, online platform is to hold people's attention. We want their time. Okay. So this stuff now, which I just showed you, you can test it out. So what I want you to do is, I need you to do Moini Didi's picture, nicely manipulated. Can you see that? Do that for me as a homework if you can, and save it. And please save it. Okay. All right. Save it. Are you okay? Then number 2, get Peace Village photo. Snip it like this. Snip it like this. And then give some soft effect. Soften. Okay. And then if you have time, take Baba's photo, grab from Google image. Crop it into an oval shape. Okay. Crop it into an oval shape. Okay. And then put some soft effect. And then if you want to try the animation, that's fine. You can do that. Okay. So that's one. Now, one more last stuff which I want to show you is, all right, I am going to show you this thing. All right, watch here. Okay. So Didi is now here. Can you see that? This is also very good. Didi is here. Okay. No, Didi is now, let's see, this is Didi. But what's my next slide? If I go next slide is Peace Village, right? So what I want to do is, I want to go to this part here. Let's make this big. Didi is here. Can you see that? Didi is here. I want to duplicate this slide. All right. So I just copy it, Control C. Okay. And then I'm going to paste it here, right below here. Paste it here. Wrong slide. Sorry. I'm going to click on Didi's image here. Click Didi. Control C. And then Control V. Right. So I've got 2 Didi's photo. Can you see that? Can you see that? Good. Now what I'm trying to do here is this. Let's say you're explaining something about Didi and Didi's here. Or it can be anything. It can be any text or whatever. Let's put some text to make things nice. Okay. All right. So I'm going to have a text box. Text box. Okay. I'm going to put Brahma Kumaris. This is the final animation effect, which is quite interesting. So I'm going to make it, okay, slightly bigger. Let's choose something big. Okay. Shape format, I want to make it orange color. All right, just for, okay, orange. I'm going to give an outline of black. Nice, looks so good. And then I'm also going to give some shadow here. Remember the S here is a shadow. Fine, there's a shadow. Good. All right, great. So I'm going to be like this. Okay, Didi's here. Good. Now, So now let's put this back here. Okay, sorry. Okay, so this is my slide. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a duplicate here again. Sorry, let's make the duplicate again. All right, so I've got these 2 slides. Can you see that? Now, good. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Didi's photo here. I'm going to second slide. Can you see the second slide? Can you see the second slide? Good. I'm going to make it small. Okay, let's put in proportions. Okay, I think it looks good. So let's put it here. And then I'm going to make this Brahma Kumaris here, but also I'm going to make it very small. Assuming, okay, of course you can't see it. Okay, it's just an effect. Okay, now see what happens. I'm going to click this slide here, this slide. I'm going to go to transition. And I'm going to choose morph. Can you see what just happened? Again, transition, morph. So which means if you're on this slide, let's go back, yeah? Okay, I'm now here. Let's say you're presenting something, foundation course. And then the information from the previous slide, you still want to maintain in your new slide, okay, in your new slide. Okay, all right, good. Okay, sorry, okay. So when I click on this, that previous slide's information goes here, and then the new information is here. So you can make easy reference in it. Are you okay? Easy reference in it. I hope you're okay. All right. So these are the stuffs which I wanted to show you today. All right. Good. Okay. Okay. Is there any questions you'd like to ask? Okay. Okay. There's some questions here. Let's take a look. Okay. Can I stop? Any questions? Let me know. Okay. So I've given you some homework. Yeah. So what is your homework? I want you to try Didi's photo, the Peace Village, Baba's photo, if you can, and also this last transition. Okay. And there are some questions. Let me answer you one by one. Okay. I'm going to stop the sharing. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. One by one. Yeah. Let's quickly see what is it. Okay. Okay. You don't have to pass up your homework or send to me for today. All right. It's just for you to save it in a folder. Okay. Okay, so Brother David here, if you're reading, he said it's good to create thumbnails for YouTube videos. Yeah, it's good. But we can do it in Canva. Canva is great in thumbnails. Amazing. It's faster. Okay, I'll show you that tomorrow. And next, are we creating one slide with all 3 images? Sister Agupta is asking, are we creating one slide with all 3 images? Yeah, you can put all 3 images and play around in that grid. Yes, fine. Okay. And how do we get the 9 lines grid on the PowerPoint slide? Okay, so, okay, let me see whether we have that 9. You can do it this way. I'm going to share it to you again. Okay, hang on now a minute. Okay, very last one. Okay. You can actually take it from Google. Google might have a 9 slide, okay, 9 grid, or you can build your own. Okay, so how did I build my own? Was like this. I just took a big box, okay, big box like that. I just draw a box. Let's make it black. Okay, let's make it black lines. So I just put it here. I did it myself, okay. And then I put no fill. No fill means no color, but the black lines are there. And then I created another box. Let's create another box. Okay, so I just drew another box. It's lazy work. That's it, done. And I'm going to call this, okay, black lines, done. And I'm going to create another box. I think so. Doesn't matter, it's just for purpose of, okay. But there are, what do you call, available boxes in Google Image. Okay, so you can do that. Okay, good. So then you adjust this box accordingly. All right, can you see that roughly? Is it okay? For temporary purpose, all right? Okay. So this should be good. So this is quite useful. Okay, I hope you're okay with this. Okay, good. All right. Okay. Okay, anything else? Let me stop. How do we remember various options of PowerPoints we used? It's going to take time, but that is why I'm not teaching you so many stuffs today, although it sounded like a lot. Okay, good. Okay. Some are asking, can you please share some names of good fonts? Okay, I'm going to do that now. Okay, so I'm going to also show you, might as well do this. Okay, I'm going to share with you my Google. I hope you can see the Google screen. Good. Right? So what you do is, this is very useful if you are really going to be a designer. So what you do is you just type Google Fonts. Can you see what I'm doing? Google Fonts. Can you see Google Fonts? Go to Google Fonts, click Google Fonts, and you can choose thousands of them. So very nice fonts could be like Quicksand, thin and narrow. Okay, assuming you like this. So what do you do? What do you do? And then you can have any pixel here. All right. So if you just, okay, click on it, click on it, click on it, download the family, download the whole thing, whatever you want. Or you can select the particular style you want. Can you see? Select, download them, and then go to your download folder, click download, automatically it installs. Okay, just click install. So the other font you probably want to use is some new stuffs. It's like Poppins. Poppins are thin. They can be some very thin stuff. So if you want thin fonts, they're very thin. It's nice. Or if you want thick, or you can go for Poppins. You can download the entire family. Poppins Black. Do we have Poppins Black? No. Okay. All right. Okay. So these are some things. Then when you click on it, it will ask you, which one do you want? Can you see? These are thin fonts. Okay. I normally use this. And the last one, maybe you can try, is probably something different called Railway. Railway. If you don't have it, this is Railway. Okay. Or if you want something more, you can go for the Architect's Daughter. All right. Something more comical, something different. Okay, so there are lots of them. Or if you're not sure, just type A or A. Everything about A might come out, or yeah, here's R. Okay, it's open. All right, so you go and choose your fonts. I'll leave that to you. Anything else you want to ask me? Let's quit this stuff. Okay, let's quit this stuff. Okay. Okay, good. So let me read. All fonts are, yes, Google fonts are free, and they are free. Yes, they are free. Can we use PS and drag into PowerPoint? Sorry, what is PS? Is it Photoshop, or what are you saying? I'm not sure, because there's so many PS out there. You can drag into PowerPoint or Photoshop. I've not tried. Maybe you can. Okay. Can we not get good fonts from PowerPoint? PowerPoint already has those fonts, but sometimes your PC may not have it. So you download whatever you want. It automatically goes into PowerPoint. Once you download, it's part of PowerPoint. So therefore, you can use it anytime. You get it? So those are very useful stuffs. And then also, I will also tell you where to get free videos, free images, so that you don't violate any copyright things. Okay, anything else? Am I missing anything? If not, good. There's one more last question. Why did we change the PNG type to JPEG, and what is the benefit? Interesting. Okay, I'll show you that. That's very interesting. I'll just take a few more minutes, okay? Just take a few more minutes. Okay. Okay, I'm going to show you that. I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint. Good. Okay. So let's use a new slide now. Okay, you can see my PowerPoint. Now, I'm going to insert a picture from this device. Now, let's go back to VK. Okay, I'm going to take Baba's logo. I'm going to insert my Baba's logo. So this is how you insert a photo, all right? So this is Baba's logo. Can you see that? Now, what I'm going to do is, I am going to put a background to it, something like this. Okay, good. And I'm going to send this background behind. Now look, this is a problem for designers. Why? So let's say you have a beige background, or let's say this is your flyer, and your flyer is what color? Maybe light green, fine. But then if you want to put Brahma Kumaris and the logo out there, it looks awful. You can't put this logo at one corner and here like this, and then you can't type Brahma Kumaris. That's going to be totally awful, isn't it? Why? So because this kind of stuff is what we call as a JPEG. What's a JPEG? A JPEG image is something which captures the background. Okay, now see what I'm going to do. I'm going to remove this thing. I'm going to remove this thing. Okay, I'm going to remove this thing using my picture format. Remove background. Can you see that? Oh, no, not remove background. Let's undo this. Okay, now there's another way of doing it. I'm going to remove that white background and make it transparent. I'm going to click that photo. All right. I'm not going to go to remove background. I'm going to go to color. Color. Can you see color here? Okay, color. Go down, scroll down, scroll down. Can you see scroll down? And can you see below here? What is that? Set transparent. Click on that. Take your cursor, put on that white thing and click, and it becomes transparent. Can you see that? So for a designer, this is an absolutely important tool. Now, this image now is called a PNG. Can you see what's a PNG? A PNG is an image which the background has been made transparent. Are you following what I'm saying? Good. Now, you see, it's awesome. You can't see the background at all. Now you need to save this. Now let's right click, save as picture. Are you seeing it? Now save this Baba's logo as logo transparent or whatever you want to call it. Anything you want transparent background should be PNG. However, if you choose JPEG again, the background will come back. So if you don't want the background, you need to choose PNG. But remember, before you choose PNG, you need to remove the background. Remove the background first, and then save it as PNG. So this is a totally useful tool because definitely you're going to put Baba's logo and you don't want that white stuff. Can you see that? So this is why I'm answering that question in the chat. Should it be PNG or should it be JPEG? Are you clear? You're right? Good, fantastic. So, okay, good. So today we have learned all those basic stuffs, and hopefully tomorrow we can get into. All right, so, okay. So I'm going to stop at this point, okay?